Hello, welcome to the start of my coverage of the LudoNarraCon 2020. In this video, I'd like to show you my top games based on the experiences that I had playing the demos. I had so many good experiences, but I just wanted to focus on the ones that had the biggest impact on me, so I narrowed it down to 6. Backborn is described as a noir role-playing detective adventure, and it is due to release in 2021 and is developed by Eggnut. It's set in a world where animals are like people, and we play as a raccoon who is also a private investigator, and we get to help him solve a case. Think if you crossed The Wolf Among Us with a traditional adventure game with a non-traditional adventure game, that's how I would describe Backborn. I found it quite intense. It was definitely an adult adventure game, like it's not for kids. When I'm calling it an adventure game, I feel like it had a little bit of everything adventure-y, so it's kind of like point and click-ish. It had different dialogue options. It had control, so you are in control of the character, so it's not really point and click, but it just had a vibe of point and click. But then there is also sections. There was a stealth section, but not a bad stealth section. I don't like stealth, and it was alright. It was just puzzle stealth more than anything. And then there was also other puzzles, and the puzzles that I did, I really enjoyed. I felt really smart when I'd solved it, and it's not, if you think about traditional point and click type or even traditional adventure games, sometimes the puzzles are super hard. This wasn't super hard, it was just the right amount of hard in my opinion. It wasn't hard at all, but it made you feel smart, but it wasn't so easy that you just breeze through it, or at least for me. I feel like I spent the perfect amount of brain power solving these puzzles. The characters were interesting, and they set up this world that I am so interested to dive into, because without spoiling too much, they've set up a sort of hierarchy in the world of animal humans, and it is totally a world that I want to see how it all pans out. I am just fully all in with it. There's some interesting characters. I like the dialogue, it was good, and just wholeheartedly would like to keep playing this one, and I wholeheartedly recommend everyone checks it out. It was so good, with a brilliant ending, by the way. Lost Words Beyond the Page is described as a 2D narrative adventure game. It is due for release in 2021, although I'm pretty sure it's already available on Google Stadia if you have that. And it's developed by Sketchbook Games and Fourth State. It is this unique, creative, gorgeous game that I can't praise enough, really. It's definitely, as the rest of the games are here, a narrative game. I wouldn't go into it expecting the most phenomenal game mechanics in the world, but the way that they transfer the platforming into the story, I actually found super clever. The art was just gorgeous, and the music was stunning. This game hit me hard. I'm not gonna lie, it hit me really hard. It was so relatable. Somehow it managed to capture my whole life in less than an hour of game time. The nostalgia was so real. It plays on the whimsy and imagination of being a child, but it also is heavily about the relationship between a young girl and her grandma, and I am extremely close to my grandma. I call her Nana, not Grandma, and I adore her to absolute pieces, and the relationship that was being described in this game felt so real to me. That is me and my Nana, literally, you couldn't put it any better. The way that she listens to her Nana's wise words, and the way that she has all of these amazing memories with her. So then that makes me very hesitant to actually play on with the rest of the game, because it's been that effective on me so far. I don't think that I can play the rest. Without spoiling anything, it was too relatable for me, and maybe in the future I'll be able to go and play it. It fully transported me back to being a child, completely. And then also managed to stay relevant now too, and it was just an experience that I never expected to have from any of these demos. So when I did, I was so impressed, and not just the story clicked with me, but the whole package, you know?
Do you think that matters?
It was all just stunning. Over the Alps is described as a Hitchcockian World War II spy thriller. It's already out now, and it is developed by Stave Studios, and they have more content coming out in the summer. This was the one that if I didn't have enough time to play all of the demos, this is the one that I actually would have skipped just based on the description and my personal preferences. And holy hell am I glad that I did not skip this one, because it was so good. It was so well written. It was so extremely witty. It just had me smiling the whole time, just having an absolute laugh with it. And it's not even just about how funny it was quite actually exciting. I was fully engaged and ready to see what was going to happen next, through until the very end. It had so much character, and the gameplay was so basic. It's literally pretty much, I want to describe it as visual novel. There isn't much else to it except visual novel, but because it's a visual novel style game, it has branches, and that gives it a lot of replayability. As soon as I was done, this was the only demo of all, how many did I play? 15, where I audibly went no at the end, because I was enjoying it so much and I was so sad that it was going to be the end. There were more mechanics to it that I didn't quite understand. So you're playing as a spy, I guess, and you've got to traverse your way. I guess you're going over the Alps. I never quite put that together, but I guess you're going over the Alps, and you've got to do it successfully, basically. And there's different obstacles, and as far as the mechanics go, I didn't quite understand, but there is definitely some, not maths, but like there is some strategy involved, because there were some numbers that would tell you, based on the path that you took, numbers added on different things, and that you have to try and make sure that the police don't catch you, and it all connects together like that. But unfortunately I can't explain it to you because I didn't figure that out, because I was just enjoying the experience so much that I didn't even care. I just wanted to carry on going. The writing was so good that it actually encouraged me to choose maybe options that I wouldn't normally choose, because I always play the good guy. And it's not that I wasn't playing the good guy, but some of the options were just irresistible, and it was just so worth it to build this little character of this spy. I can't sing its praises higher. If I was going to play any of the demos again, it is for sure that one, and it is absolutely on my wish list. Ring of Fire is described as a search-based detective noir puzzler. It is arriving in 2021, and it is developed by Far Few Giants. When I said the Backborn wasn't for kids, Ring of Fire is not for kids. Let me get that straight. It's very mature themes, and it's definitely for adults only. It is so interesting the way that they've developed this into a detective game. Basically, the idea is you need to have a pen and paper with you, and you make notes as you go, and then there are in-game search databases where you can then type your notes in, either about a person or a number or an address, and then you search it in the in-game database, and then you get the information that you need to continue investigation, or you can go and visit the places that you need to go and visit. And it feels like, I suppose usually in games, when you discover a clue, it will save it for you, but you have to take notice yourself, take those notes and actually solve this case yourself. And I found that super exciting. I felt really accomplished when I would search something, even if it wasn't totally relevant, but I would search something and I'll get some results. And that, paired with the tone of the story and what was happening, made me want to continue. I was super interested to see where it was going to go, because it seems like a pretty, I don't want to say a normal thing to happen, because it's not, it was gruesome as hell, but it seems like a pretty standard thing that anyone would think, oh yeah, like fine, okay, whatever. But I feel like there's going to be some twists and turns, so I'm proper keeping my eyes out for this one, because I want to play the whole game. Still There is described as a psychological adventure game. It's developed by Ghost Shark and it is already available right now. It was released in 2019. I want to describe it as a space simulator, but not simulator in the accurate sense. That's kind of what the game was in the demo. Space station simulator, but instead of actually just flicking buttons, you've got to solve puzzles to complete your goals for the day. However, it is also so much more than that for me. It has a story, and even more than that, it has such a level of detail that you can dive in as much as you want to. If you only want to do the surface level things, just do them. But if you are interested in getting absorbed into this world, the best comparison that I could think of was Life is Strange. You know, when you go around and you can click on things and hear her thoughts? Basically the same thing. Almost everything in your space station you can click on and really get to know this character and what life is like in space. And just the full-on level of detail blew me away. Even the fact that you are one person in a space station, you would think that'd be hard to write, right? But there was so much character in it. There is an AI called Gorky who is very well written. I was very entertained by Gorky. And between that and some of the things that are on your in-game computer and just the descriptions of things as you are clicking around, it really builds this picture of depth, in my opinion. And I just wanted to keep going. I was super entertained, I was super engaged, and I was full on immersed in this little world, and that's excluding the rest of the story. So all in all, this game's got a lot going for it in my opinion, and I would more recommend just experiencing it for yourself if you like those kind of games where you can explore everything and click everything and appreciate a level for detail. Last but not least is Tangled Tower. It's a point and click murder mystery game. It is already out now and it is developed by SFB Games. I hadn't heard of this game before and it sounded right up my street, being point and click detective game. I love solving murders, and then when I played it, it wasn't what I expected it to be, but I was so pleasantly surprised. It's got its own proper unique art style, and the characters weren't just your sort of standard detectives. The thing that stood out the most to me were the characters. So you play as a pair of detectives, and usually you would think it's a trope that one of them may be a bit outlandish or a bit stupid or a bit whatever, and then the other one gets a bit fed up sometimes and they're like, ugh, like come on, and like belittles them a bit. That is quite a common trope. However, these two proper fed off each other, and they were both a bit smart and they were both a bit stupid, and it was that kind of connection where I just wanted to see more of them. There was no bad vibes, even though we're solving a murder, like the vibes were good. I really liked them. Another thing that I liked that kind of gave it its own little spin on things was the fact that when you gather evidence and you then have to question suspects, you can use the things that you have gathered to question the suspects, which I think is a really neat mechanic that I wanted to explore more, but unfortunately in the demo the one suspect that I talked to wouldn't talk at all, and that felt like a tease that I need to get the rest of the game to find out how good these mechanics work and to have more of the writing fed to me, you know, like I just really like that system. I also like the map, as daft as that sounds. I think it must just be the whole style of the game just clicked with me. I just liked it a lot. It kind of showed you where you're gonna be going, but with blurred out or question marks or something, so you can't see. And that gives you an idea of the scale of the game if you're gonna go and investigate all of those rooms. It set up the story well. Even as soon as you enter the door, there's a big family tree and you know that there's going to be some sort of feud going on. And I just want to get in there and solve it and accuse people and talk to people and be a bit stupid and just sink a few hours into it. Definitely worth having a look at if you enjoy detective games for sure, or point and click games even, because it did have, every point and click game that I've played has had its own unique charm and character, and this also had its own unique charm and character that I can't really compare to anything else. So for that reason, you should probably check it out and see if it's for you, because it might be. If you think that I missed any standout games, please don't hesitate to comment and let me know what you thought. I did play a lot of demos and I did like a lot of the demos as well, but these were the 6 that really made an impact on me, and I just highly want to sing their praises to anyone that'll listen. I had so much fun playing all the demos, and I'm going to be releasing them over the next few weeks. Maybe they'll all be out in time for the next Steam Festival in the summer, June 7th I think, where hopefully I'll get to make some more videos. If you check out my playlist of the LudoNarraCon 2020, there are also some demos that I played in the Steam Game Festival in the spring that I've added into this playlist too. So if you're listening to this late, maybe there's a whole library of all the demos that came out during this event. If you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to let me know, because it's really helpful for me to know whether people actually like these videos or not, because I'm still just trying to find my way and see what I enjoy making. But for now, I am really enjoying trying to put a bit of a highlight on these indie games and playing games that I would never normally play, and trying to help other people find the games they may not have found too. So with that, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow with the first let's try of these demos, which is Backborn. They're all coming out in alphabetical order because I'm a geek like that. Please let me know what you think of the games. Bye!